less than 10 miles an hour. That's the speed I was doing when I hit an invisible pothole. A pothole that has now resulted in me having to replace the tyre on my Golf GTI. Which got me thinking, can I get the council to pay for this? And if I can't, what exactly am I paying for? I know in the UK that road tax is not officially road tax, it's vehicle excise duty. I pay over £1,000 a year between my two cars, and I don't feel like I'm getting much value for money, as with most UK taxes. Vehicle excise duty drops into general taxation, and that is how they fix the roads. So in a way, it still is road tax. I think what they've done is change the name of it so that we don't feel that they're responsible for maintaining the roads, which they are.
In 2023, UK drivers made over 25,000 claims for pothole damage, but less than a third were successful. Councils paid out nearly 13 million in compensation, but it's a fraction of what potholes actually cost us. Tyres, wheels, suspension, all wrecked by roads we've already paid for, and yet somehow we're still the ones footing the bill.
I'm going to try and pursue the council for this, and in this video I'm going to share the full process of how to do that, and ultimately whether or not the council will actually pay out. And this is the pothole in question. You can't see it, and it doesn't even look like much, but it's enough to do some serious damage to your car, which is why I've brought a tape measure, because this is the first thing you're going to need if you're going to put a claim into the council. So in the UK, a pothole to be considered for a claim needs to be about 40 mil deep. It's about two 20p coins, 4 centimetres. This one is 4 centimetres deep, at least. At the worst point, actually, it's even worse than that. So it's definitely within that. And they also say about 20 centimetres wide, which this one definitely isn't at any point. But I think that's what's caused it, is because it's so sharp, the wheel's just gone in at the wrong angle and just bang. And I think it's probably even buckled my alloy wheel. The other thing you must do when you want to put a claim into the council is, first of all, measure it. You then need to make sure you note down the time, the date it happened, the weather condition, if there was any witnesses. You also need to take plenty of photos showing the damage of the tyre, the wheel, and crucially the pothole, showing its location on the road. Get as many pictures as possible because they're all going to help in the case. There is one slight issue in that obviously when I measured the pothole, it doesn't fit within the limits of what the council will consider to be a problem pothole, one that you can claim against. They wouldn't even consider repairing that because it's not big enough. But it clearly was, because it's damaged my tyre and probably damaged my alloy wheel. So it's definitely big enough from my point of view. But it could affect the claim. It could make it harder to claim, but certainly not impossible. And we're going to find out a little bit later on how the council decided to handle this and whether or not I get any payment back at all. Something else worth mentioning is that due to the unique way in which the government is run here, some people are entitled to free cars. I'm not one of those, of course, but some people get free cars once every 3 years. That includes the full running costs and everything, and it's all paid nicely by the taxpayer. If they were to come across that pothole and bust an alloy or bust a tyre, it would all be paid for by the taxpayer. They'd just take the car back in, get it fixed. You or I, a taxpayer, have to fund it themselves, and there's something so wrong about that, which is what prompted me to make this video. Now, I don't know whether I'm actually going to win this, but I thought it was worth a try and worth showing whether or not it's even possible to get any money back at all from this. So what exactly is wrong with the tyre? Because as you can see, it's not flat. What instead has happened is the car has hit the pothole so hard that it's damaged the sidewall of the tyre, causing it to balloon out at the side. I first noticed it when I saw the alloy wheel, a mark that looked like it had been curbed. As you can see, the tyres on this are quite fat and the chance of curbing it is quite low. So when I first saw it, I thought, how have we done that? Then it dawned on me. That's when I realised. That will not only fail an MOT, but it could essentially cause a blowout. So it's pretty dangerous, which is why I'm off now to pay for it to have it replaced. And when I do that, I'm going to get the garage to put on the invoice that it was replaced due to a pothole, which should help my case going forward. Well, that's the car dropped off. And now for the fun part, to try and put a claim in and see how difficult the council really makes it. Because I suspect it's not that easy at all. first thing you'll need to do when making your claim is find out who is responsible for the road. So most normal roads around towns are controlled by the council. Motorways and other types of roads, that's highways. So you need to find out who's responsible before you put the claim in. This road that I drove down was part of North Yorkshire County Council. It's under their responsibility to maintain it. And going onto their website, it wasn't too bad. Clicked through a few links and found the form. And it's a highway claim form. And it asks you to fill in various details. It's going to be a pain in the arse, to be fair. It's the exact location of the incident, the time, the date, the weather, the direction of travel, a sketch of the location, which I've not done. I'm going to have to go back and do that. Photographs, which I've got. Why you believe they're responsible. Original invoices for repairs, and where possible invoices for the original purchase, which I'm very lucky that I keep all the invoices for the car. So I've got the invoice for the tyres when they were originally fitted only about 3 months ago, and I'll be getting a new one today once the car is picked up. So I'm going to get that form filled in, get it sent off, and we'll revisit this when the council have made their decision.
1 eternity later.
I'm back! 2 months after filming the first part of this video, I'm back. But this time I've got an answer from the council on whether they believe they were at fault for the damage to my tyre. And after sending the initial email, I had a few emails back and forwards from the council. They were very helpful and very quick to respond. What they wanted was a few more details of the incident, they wanted a few more pictures, and just a bit better description on what had actually happened and what the claim was going to be. They then said once they'd received everything, they were happy and their insurance company would be in touch very shortly. Now, they did take quite a while. It took a month and a half for their insurance company to get back to me. And when they did, they asked for yet more evidence, more things. Those things were a V5 to prove that I was the registered keeper at the time. They wanted insurance document to prove the car was insured. And they wanted invoices for the original tyre and the replacement, the age of the item, and things like that, just to clarify a few things and definitely to get a price together to what the claim would likely be. The last thing they asked for, however, was dashcam footage. And I knew that was going to cause me some problems because I don't have a dashcam. And without a dashcam, I was then starting to think that they would use that as a way to stop paying out, saying, well, there's no way you can prove it. But anyway, I thought to myself, well, what would a dash cam actually show? Would it show the car bouncing around? I don't think so. It would show me on that road at the time I said I was, but I don't see how it would show impact from a pothole. It just wouldn't. So I sent everything that I did have, cross my fingers, hope for the best, and see if they pay out. And they got back to me. They got back to me pretty quickly. And they denied the claim. They said there wasn't enough substantial evidence on my part to say that their client, the council, was at fault for the incident. And I understand that to a certain extent. You could have a flat tyre, you could then claim a really terrible road in your area was the cause of it, put a claim into the council, get a fresh set of tyres. The council obviously do have to protect themselves, but at the same time, that pothole was huge. And I've been back to see that pothole since, and they've filled it in. So the council accept the pothole is large, too large to leave it, but they're not allowing me to claim because I don't have enough evidence. What they suggested was the evidence would be a dash cam, which again, I don't know how that would have helped, but also a recovery from the site from someone like the AA or RAC. If the tyre was completely blown out, I would have had to do that. And that is probably ultimately the only way you can claim, because there's no way of proving that pothole caused the damage. And I understand that from the council's point of view, and they do need to protect themselves because at the end of the day, this is public money. And if people are scamming the councils for thousands of pounds worth of tyres, then it'd be us that are footing the bill in the end anyway. So I understand that. It just seems a massive shame that I'm now a couple of £100 out of pocket for roads that we pay to have them maintained. And it's so frustrating. But anyway, I hope this video has been helpful in some way. And if you ever have an incident like this on the road where the tyre is damaged by a pothole in the road, maybe call the RAC or AA and get recovered from the spot. Otherwise, you're not going to have enough evidence to claim against the council. So while some claims clearly do go through, I think it's very, very difficult to get the council to pay up, because it's impossibly difficult to prove that that was the direct cause of why you now need a new tyre. But I hope this video was helpful to some people. If it was, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for plenty more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.